Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday, June 24th edition of Speaker Co-working. I am Ron Story, the head of membership at Speaker Hub, here with Angela Lewis and my cast of beautiful friends, Seyron, Jacinta, Denise, Jadika, and Camille, and Lawrence also. Good to see everybody. Jacinta, you been with us before? Or this your first time?
No, this is my first time.
All right. You want to tell us about you? Introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Glad to be part of the team. My name is Jacinta. I am a spiritual counselor and soul coach, published author, and public speaker.
Okay. And what do you speak
You
about?
want you want to know more? Like, do you have all
Yeah,
day?
go all the way in. How many sisters you got? How many brothers you got? How
My
tall are
social
they?
security number,
No, we don't want that. We don't
credit
want that.
score.
That's no. We don't need any of that. We're a fully legit legal business over here. We're not running any scams.
Yeah, literally, that's about it.
Okay.
And
What's your speaking topic?
my speaking topic is winning the game of fear.
Okay.
And stress resolution for busy professionals and overcoming dark forces. And then the last one is based on my recent qualification, which is helping menopausal women thrive. So those are
Okay.
four. Yeah.
Cool. And where are you located?
I'm located in Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles. So it's early over there. It's like 9 in the morning.
Oh man, it's already late. Like I had you guys talking about it seems like Friday or Saturday or something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Well, you're always welcome here. You'll see different people come in and out of the room
Yeah.
as we keep the conversation going today. Again, I'm Ron Story. I run Speaker Hub along with 18 other people that are full time. We have a bunch of uh, contractors also that we used to have like 40 some people all together, including contractors, but we got rid of our European team, so everybody now is in South America. And you know, we had to roll with the people that was in our time zone. It was hard. It's hard staying up to 1 in the morning talking to these folks to try to figure things out. So we downsized everybody out of Poland, Belgium, and Serbia. I think they're all gone, and it's just us. So, but that's y'all don't care about that. But any wins? Any wins so far this week? Anybody? It's a small group, man. I ain't used to only seeing
Yeah, I've got a
7
couple.
people. Go ahead, Lawrence.
So my first win is that I reached out to one of the NAMI chapters in my city.
Mhm.
So it isn't on the book yet, but they are open to a meeting, and we're gonna make sure this goes really well. Because I'm already speaking for the chapter in Boston. So when I mention that, they're going to be really open to me. That'll be great. And the second one is today I'm going to go buy myself a brand new
We just
suit.
lost you.
Are you able to hear me now?
Okay, we can hear you now.
What was the last part you heard?
And the second, that's what
Okay, yeah. That is how I sound actually. The second thing is that later today I'm gonna go buy myself a brand new suit. So
Oh
looking
yeah,
forward to shopping a bit.
that's always good, man. You know, I remember when I used to wear suits every day. Not no more, boy. But I used to wear them every single day when I was doing financial advising. So no,
Yeah, I
suits
used
are
to.
always good. It's always good to have on a suit, man. It's like having a superhero. It's like Iron Man with his outfit on. You walk in the
Yeah,
room.
I used to go to high school wearing a suit because of how much I love when random people on the street would call me sir.
Well, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's incredible. It is incredible. Definitely a confidence booster. Any other wins?
I'll share a small one. I don't know when you
Oh, go ahead.
recorded these, Ron, but you had I guess the 5-day challenge, right? To send
Mhm.
out invitations. So I was going through those maybe a week or two ago. So I sent out, I don't know, well, not as many as you had suggested, but I did get I have 3 meetings booked for podcasts.
Yeah,
And
that's good. That's a
anyway,
high
so
five.
yeah. So
I mean,
I feel good
here's
about
what we
that.
know. Here's what we know, and we figured this out. We just don't really push it because we're like, we got to still kind of be nice. Because I'm like, just get it done, right? But what we know is that if you do enough effort, that it's where you have to do enough effort to where it's unreasonable for you to fail, right? Now we know what the exact numbers are. We can see based on how many pitches Janika has sent, how many she's booked. We can see that for every person. We know all the ratios for each person. But we hold off on telling those ratios because people will make that the game. Where they're trying to optimize for having the highest percentage instead of having the highest number of bookings. Does that make sense? So we
Hmm.
start saying, well, I got 60% of mine. Yeah, but you sent 10 pitches. This person got
Yeah.
50 bookings because they sent 800. You bragging about your 6 meetings, they got 50. You are
Yeah.
losing the money game, right?
Yeah.
So, but that's high five, man. I mean, my thoughts are always if I do enough repetitions, at some point it's going to be unreasonable for me to fail. In our last webinar that we did, I talked about what I call the 1,000 people challenge, right? Basically, I basically said if you reached out to 5 people a day for a year, which will put you at about 1,200 people, right? That's 100 people a month. Do you think that 1,200 people that are in your target audience that's looking for speakers like you all are going to tell you no? It's just unreasonable. Right? Like that's like the lifetime deal payoff plan. Reach out to 1,200 people. You will get the 1 gig to pay this thing off for life.
Yep.
And that's a 15-minute investment, right? So, high five Camille for doing the booked in 5 days challenge and got 3 meetings in less
Yeah.
than 5 days, right? So, if you're watching this and you haven't taken the booked in 5 days challenge, go to speakerhub.com and sign up for a trial. We'll give you a trial of Speaker Hub. And if you hop in and you do the challenge right away, it pays for itself really quickly. But if you don't send the pitches, don't pay for nothing. So, but yeah, high five. Good to see everybody. Any other wins from a few new people? I saw some new folks came in. AJ, Valencia, Kevin, Bonnie. I don't know if anybody else has any wins. If not, I got a really interesting topic I want to talk about today.
I
That
have a
oh, go
win.
ahead, Jasmine. Yep.
I have a win because even though I have podcasts booked this week, there wins too, one this afternoon. But yesterday, the very first person that had me on his podcast in Toronto invited me for two different slots of lunch and learn over 2 weeks. So two different because it's a big organization.
Mhm.
So I'm going to meet the HR person first and foremost on Friday, and then we're going to set up. She wants to speak about logistics, and to set up. So it's a 12 to 1 and a 1 to 2, and we'll see if we need more than the 2 weeks to cover that. And they've also sent a blank form with a slot to fill my fees in.
There it is. That's a blank check.
Yep,
You know, that is
yep,
incredible.
yep.
$18 billion a minute. That's what I think you should charge. Right? No, no, we can't hear you, Jasmine. You muted yourself somehow.
I'll take a leaf out of Myron Golden book, and and I'm worth it. He says, "Why do people pay me all this much money? Because I asked for it."
Oh yeah, yeah. Myron is a money machine. He has a way of pickpocketing people legally, getting people to do a table rush to the back of the room, and it's incredible. But yeah, Jasmine, I think high five. Thanks for sealing the deal. Do you know what their budget is for the event so that you don't come in off kilter from their budget and they're like, oh, I don't think this is gonna work, but you didn't know what you
You
were
know,
fighting
I,
against. And
I,
then you
I,
also don't want to be too low.
yes, and that's he's a CEO of this business for like 30 years, right on Bay Street in Toronto. And he's also he's like a John Diggs, he's a singer, right? And so he said to me, talk to me about anything you need. That just happened last night. Talk to me about anything you need or what if you feel comfort, your comfort level. And so I'm going to ask him that. I didn't
Yeah,
ask.
ask him.
I thought I was
If I-
going to ask the human resources person. I could either ask him or the human resources person, but because he says to me, like, reach out to me, and
yeah.
I think he
So
wants
here's
to
how
take the
you
lead.
here's how you do this. You say, look, um, I want to make sure that I'm coming in. I know every organization has a budget and times are crazy right now. I want to make sure that I'm coming in, you know, right on target for what you all can afford, even
Yeah.
if it's a little bit below what I normally charge. They don't know what you
Ah,
normally charge, but if
yeah.
they are above what you normally would charge, that's what you start normally charging.
Yes.
you
Yes.
can
Yes.
you can make it a new normal, right?
Yes.
But if you don't know that number, then you're just shooting in the dark, and you may leave thousands of dollars on the table,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
So and
I'll do that.
um,
He's a
price.
funny dude.
But I think price also dictates value, right? So there's cost, price, and value. And most of us wouldn't go to a lawyer that charges $5 an hour, right? To handle our divorce or whatever. We'd be like, I ain't been $5 an hour. Nah, I ain't gonna, I'm about to lose, right?
Mm, mm,
But the more especially in business, the more prestigious price dictates prestige. Someone pulls up in a Rolls Royce. You don't know nothing about it, but you know they paid something for that car. Even if they rented it, they spent $1,000 that day to rent that car. You know, what's his name? Shannon Sharp. He had a watch, and he was talking about why he pays tens of thousands of dollars for watches, and he says you use your watch to tell you what time it is. I use my watch to show you what time it is.
mm.
Right? He like, when you see this watch, you know what time it is, right? And I get it, right? I totally get it. Um,
I have started to wonder about this first podcast that I had. Would I have reached out to, should I be reaching out even though I've done the podcast? So this is something that's been gnawing at me since last night. So here is this person I did, two people from my initial podcast. They've reached out to me. One is David Carr, who wants me to is aligning me with someone that works with Deepak Chopra.
mhm,
So he's done a mutual invitation to us,
mhm.
and they're here is now this reaching out to me. So should we be backtracking sometimes and set up something to say, I know I did your podcast, I want to make sure that, I deliver to your audience, and what do you have in the future? I'm wondering if we should start that conversation with some of the people, because I found those are warm people, right?
Yeah. So let me tell you why, and this goes into why we changed that button from pitch to connect, right? This is about relationships, right? It's really about relationships, right? And what they say, the toe you step on today may be attached to the ass you got to kiss tomorrow, right? And I believe that. And I don't believe in stepping on people's toes, but I also don't believe in kissing people's butts. But I do believe in shaking people's hands. And if you can build that relationship over time, right, without burning the bridge, because you just never know where people. I told you, I was on YouTube and I saw one of my college buddies is running for mayor of New York City. I had no idea that he was even considering running for mayor, but he has all the credentials. But I ain't talked to him in 15 years. But I'm like, holy crap, that's Mike Blake. And I put it in our frat group. I'm like, yo, did y'all know Mike was running for mayor? And they were like, oh heck no, we need to catch up with him. Now, you just never know. 10 years ago, somebody may have had a joke. Or, you just never know if that relationship wasn't developed, where it could end up being down the road. Now, I think you should treat everybody with the same respect that they treat you with, right? But I also want to make sure that you're not using Speaker Hub for transactions. Does that make sense? I got what I wanted. I'm gone. No, follow back up. How's it going? Wanted to catch up. Man, I would love to. I'm working on this new thing. I don't know if it's interesting to you. Would love to see you a copy of my new book, whatever. Just build a relationship. How can I help you to get forward? You put me on your podcast. I now have a show. Can I promote you to my show? Right? I'll tell you the great thing about Speaker Hub and the Pro Speaker Summit. All of those people I have relationships with. I don't put anybody on my stage I don't have a relationship with, right? I haven't put anybody on the stage that asked to be on the stage, right? So it's me reaching back to people that I think are impactful and being reciprocal, right? You know, I think John adds a lot of value with what he provides, so I wanted John on that stage. I thought Ron did a great job of being a great example of someone who just hopped in and pitched the hell out of our system and tried to break it. I want to give you thanks for that. That meant a lot to me that you believed in something new when nobody else did. Does this make sense? Like, this is about relationships. This ain't, I just paid Ron once and now he disappeared. No, dude, I got you. Whatever you need from me, I got you. Why? Because that's how you build relationships.
You know,
Right.
the tendency is for people to say, oh God, I've done 15 podcasts. Let's go see if I can get the 20th podcast. So now I'm going to start, heading back, not make, I have to pitch, but to kind of say, you know what, like you said, build up that relationship over time because then they trust you. And if
Yeah.
they
I
trust
mean,
you, they're going to refer you.
all you got to do is say, hey, I just was checking in on you. I hope you're having a great summer. Nothing else. Just say that.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just say that. You ain't got to
Yeah.
say nothing else. You ain't got to offer them nothing. You ain't got to ask, hey, man, I just want to check in on you, make sure you was having a great summer. Talk to you
Awesome.
later.
I'm going to
That's
do a couple
it.
of those today.
On LinkedIn. Easy to do it on LinkedIn. Use the LinkedIn video thing I told you. Hey, Jasmine, I wanted to reach out to you to let you know I really appreciated you having me on the podcast. Just wanted to say, I hope you're having a great summer. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Boom. Send it to my LinkedIn. I'm done. 30 seconds,
Absolutely.
right? There's a guy named Jesse Itzler that teaches that. He says you should reach out to 5 people that you haven't talked to every day. And he has like a time limit. Like if you haven't talked to them in 6 months, 5 people every day, right? And I think he does some type of scheduling where he schedules it so that it ends up being like this every 6-month reminder where he just, hey, it's not an ask. It's just a, hey, what's up? Right. And you got to just think about the momentum that builds over time. Um, but that's just my opinion. I'm a,
It's
um,
true, Ron, because coming from real estate and building a business on referrals, if we don't keep in touch with those people, that's why some real estate people they're just turning on the hamster wheel, getting the next deal, getting the next deal, getting the next deal. So sometimes we have to use some of our prior experience and feed it into what has made you successful in the past and keep it here. So I
oh,
just answered
100%.
my own question.
There you go. I mean, we're our own best consultants. Here's a thing for you. If you want to learn a trick, take whatever you're dealing with, right? Write it down, write it all out, and give it to somebody you trust. And tell them, say, hey, I need to role play and I need you to be that client. I promise you. You will answer your own problem. Because we give the best advice to other people. We too close to our situation to see our own crap. But when we put it on somebody else, hey, try this shirt on. We see that we got a LeVar Cottrell from what was that? The Cosby Show. What was the yellow shirt that Denise made? You know, don't act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. One second here. Let me bring it up. The LeVar Cottrell is the name of it. One moment. Let me bring it up here in the background. Got to get out of here. One second. How many of y'all watched the Cosby Show? Y'all seen the Cosby Show. Y'all can see this. Denise made a shirt. There it is. You see that shirt? Remember she made that shirt. What they called it, LeVar Cottrell or something like that? but his sister made that shirt for him. But you don't realize how ugly that shirt is. Can y'all see it or no? Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Okay.
see it.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes that's our situation. We think it looked good until somebody else put it on, and we realize we all out here like that. So, but go ahead. Let's see Valencia, and then we're gonna go to Jacinta.
Hey, so I've been attending like a workshop. It's like a podcasting slash
Mhm.
social media, just kind of workshop, just kind of making connections and learning stuff. And so we had to do some introductions, and they taped it. It was just like an impromptu thing, right? Well, one of the girls, she ended up putting it on her, I think, Instagram, and she got a response back. Hey, does she do one-on-ones? So it made me feel like, dang, I just all this posting I'm doing. I said I just need to get out in front of maybe a larger audience or something like that. But it just made me feel good that what I offer is something that's appealing. You know what I'm saying, to maybe a larger audience. So
Yeah. So one of the things we talked about on Friday, if you go back and watch my session from Friday, is most speakers don't make enough offers. Someone mentioned Myron Golden. Myron Golden has the thing "Make More Offers" challenge, right? And what do we mean by making an offer? How many times per day are you asking somebody to buy your product or service? If you're not asking somebody to put you on the stage or making an offer to them on a daily basis, how are you ever going to make a sale? How is anybody ever going to hire you? How are they going to refer you? They don't even know what you do. Right? So let me give you a great example. There are 365 days in the year, right? We already lose 30% of those because it's the weekends. And most people ain't reaching out to people or talking to people about business on Saturday and Sunday. So we lose 104 of our 365 days right off the bat, which means we only got 261 days left. Most people take 2 weeks worth of vacation. So now we down, and entrepreneurs take more, but they don't admit they're on vacation, right? But now we down to 240 days left in a year of promotion, right? How do you compete with the person that's pitching every single day? Odell Bazell, go listen to his session at the Pro Speaker Summit. Odell was one of my clients, and years ago, he was one of the first people that trusted me to do outbound pitching for him. And when I first started working with him, he was like, "Yeah, I do outbound." I'm like, "Okay, how many you do?" He was like, I send about 100 a month." I'm like, "Dude, you should be doing at least 50 a day." He was like, 50 a day? You're going to get my email blocked. I'm going to get kicked out. Man, what you trying to do? I'm like, "Dude, relax. I got you." Right? So we started off with 25 a day and 25 follow-ups. Do you know by the time that I got done working with Odell, in our last year working together, we sent 33,000 emails just for him. 33,000 pitches. That's 8 times larger than our largest plan that we offer. But people wonder, how does he get 60 speaking gigs a year? Not including the podcast interviews, 60 speaking gigs a year, because he did so much effort that he couldn't fail. He just said, "Dude, how much can you do?" "Cool, give me 2 email accounts, I got you." And we just pitched all day. And we just had the automation going. We figured out what worked, we automated it, we sent, right? Now, do I suggest any of y'all try to do that? Probably not, because you got to have a system in place to be able to reply to all of that. But he had already had the system, he just didn't have the volume. Does that make sense? He had the infrastructure to follow up, but he didn't have the volume to justify the people he was paying. And I'm like, "Oh, I can fill that up. Hold my beer. I got you." Right? So I don't usually talk about those extreme cases because it could make the things that you all doing, what you're doing right, seem small. But it shows you what's possible, right? It shows you what's possible, and if we're taking days off and we're like, "Yeah, I didn't send my 5 pitches today." And I'm like, again, someone called and asked for a refund. They're on an annual plan, 400 pitches a month, and they had sent 180 pitches in the first 11 months of having Speaker Hub. And they told me it didn't work. This didn't work. I'm like, you don't work. Like, this thing works. What you did is what Janika does in a week. 160 pitches. They say, Ron, Janika, I could name several people on this call that have done more than that in a week. They did that in 11 months. But we didn't argue with them. Cool, right? This isn't for you. My next question to everybody is, well, what's your alternative? You canceling us. You won't be back here. What's your alternative? So now you're going to go to Google it. You're going to go over the PR pitches. I own that too. We ain't let you in over there either. You're going to go over to PitchDB. I own that too. We not letting you in over there either. Like, it's like, wait a minute, you already done screwed us and pooped on us. But it's their effort, not ours. Someone said something to me that was a dime, and I'm going to share it with y'all. I respect this lady, and I only met her once, but she dropped a gem on me. And she said, Speaker Hub is a gym. It's not a spa. And I said, ooh, you know, at the spa, you just sit there and they just rub on your head and they do all your arms and stuff. You ain't got to do nothing. You walk out the spa doing nothing, feeling better. At the gym, go in there and just lay on the ground. They're going to escort you up out that joint. Unless you're in yoga class, they're going to escort your behind up out of there if you ain't doing nothing. Even in yoga class, especially as a guy, you go into yoga class and not be doing the things. They think you're in there looking at the girls. You're a creep. Speaker Hub is a gym. It is not a spa. You don't come over here to relax. You don't pay us for relaxation. You got to put in the work if you want the results. There's no way Kevin can send my pictures to get me booked. He can't do push-ups to affect my abs. I promise you. I've tried it. It don't work. I tried it. It don't work, right? So I just want to make sure we all know that this is, it's a gym. It's not a spa, and that was a really important quote for me because it changed everything. And you get what you put into this thing. Jacinta Murray, what up? You ready? What's your question?
Yes, I am ready. Okay, so I'm just jumping back into really speaking because I've been out of the limelight for a while. I was working on putting my brand together and really anchoring into what I really want to do and how I want to serve, like what type of message I want to put out there. So everything you're saying, I'm like, oh crap, where do I pitch? Like
We got you. We got you.
In the past, like I would just see a speaking opportunity, apply and get it. But now with all the technology and AI and all of that, I guess my question is that where do I pitch? Like how do I get started? And
Right.
the last question also is this speakers app hub?
Mhm.
Because
Yep.
okay, so in the past, when I was part of the team, I had a hard time like getting speaking gigs through the website. So I'm
Yeah, that
still
was
on the
before I
website,
owned it.
but
Yeah, that was before I owned it. See, it's a whole new world. You know how like somebody they take a car that was kind of rusted up and then they polish it up, they put on the little stucco on the side, and the next thing you know, they put some fancy wheels on it, they change the interior, and you're like, man, what kind of cars? They're like, that's the same car that was over there last week. But what's the name of just put some wax on it? We done put some wax on that thing. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. We done waxed up Speaker Hub and made it pretty, Jacinta. Trust me. Check this out. Let me show you. Let me show you what we've done. Right. So this is the old Speaker Hub that you're used to. This is where you are. You probably remember this one. You got one of these?
yes.
Let's see. Let me pull you
I
up.
have a different, yeah, that's me.
There you go. Right? Perfect. Right? So this is the old Speaker Hub, right? Make sense?
Yes.
And so we've updated. Even this page doesn't look the same anymore. let me show you what the new pages look like, right? So the new speaker page now allows for our speakers to now sell their courses, offer trainings, and all of that. So this goes live on July 4th. We've redesigned the entire page. You can see I can now sell courses, books, all of those things. I can put my videos up. I don't have video on my page, but you can put video up at the top so that people can see you, all of that stuff. Let me see if I can find one that somebody has already filled out, because I think I may be on my page ain't as good as some of the other ones. Gustavo's on here. I don't know why I don't have him doing this demo. Gustavo, you want to show them what the thing looked like? I see him. This is the guy who built it. So Gustavo, I'm gonna let Gustavo take over because I'd be all in the way. Right? So here's the new speaker page, Jacinta. This is what you will see going forward. You see there's a video at the top now where people can check you out. But one of the other cool things is that on the paid plans, people can now go ahead and scroll down, Gustavo. People can now put their courses and things of that sort. So we're redoing the entire thing as far as the inbound side of people finding you, right? So Gustavo, I see we haven't filled, that one isn't completely filled out, but I'll hold off for a second. I'm gonna go over to Speaker Up Pro, right? So that's one side. We've rebuilt that side. But we also have something called Speaker Hub Pro. And this is where everybody's talking about pitching and getting booked. And then we're going to take 5 minutes. I'm going to show you this, and then we're going to hop into our lesson for today because it pertains to this. But let me just walk you through this. So you will sign up and you will put in your name, Jacinta Murray, right? And what's the name of your business, Jacinta?
It's Tap the Good Consultancy,
Hold on, let me get out of here.
like TAP.
1 second. I was in I thought I was in an admin account, but I wasn't. All right. And we're going to do Jacinta Murray. And what is it? Dr. K? Dr. what?
No, it's tap, like a tap
Oh,
of
tap.
water.
Uh-huh.
No, sorry, my accent is
Okay. No,
something
I'll
from
work with you.
another
I got
planet.
you.
That
Is it over
good-
here? Oh, tap the good. I got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, you talk about your accent. I replied to you in Spanish. Only Angela understood what I was saying. She was like, "What?" Yeah. All right, Los Angeles, and you're a speaker, coach, or just speaker or consultant?
Now we just put consultant because it covers everything.
Okay. And if you had to tell me what you did in one sentence, what would you say? You help who to do what?
What was your question? Sorry.
You help who to do what?
I help people overcome fear and tap into their creativity and achieve their goals. Or achieve their goals. Like not only overcome fear and other strongholds, tap into their creativity and achieve their goals.
Okay. Right. And you have a website?
Yes, it's
Okay.
tapthegood.com.
All right. And are you on LinkedIn?
Yes, it's still that one.
Is it? Let's see, Jacinta Murray.
I think I have Dr. Mori there somewhere.
Okay, let's see. Dr. Jacinta Murray. Let's see what comes up.
Like I just went back, so
Let me just see. Maybe it's your full name like this. And is it,
it's.
did I spell it wrong? Because
Let
it
me
looks like
find-
you have two separate spellings.
Yeah, I have two separate ones because
All right, I see you there. And there you're on. All right, let me see if it's on LinkedIn. I don't want to spend a bunch of time doing this, but we'll find it.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, so let me
So we don't actually, you know what? For what we're doing, we don't even need it. I'm going to take that out, right? Because we'll just use your website, right?
Okay.
So really quickly, when I used to run an agency, I would have to go and look at people's web pages and look you up and try to find all the stuff about you in order to get a decent bio that I could actually use to start doing outreach for you. Now, our system is looking at what we can find about you, and we're going to go ahead and write this bio for you in the next 5 seconds or so. So give it a couple seconds. You'll see this bio will get changed from my name to yours. But also, we're going to start matching you with podcasts and associations we think you would be a great guest on. So can you go ahead and quickly skim over this to tell me if you think it's accurate?
Yeah, it's yes.
Okay,
It's
perfect.
yeah.
Perfect, right?
So the reason why you didn't find me is because I'm putting this in the chat. This is what
Okay.
I'm using
Okay, well,
because
I'll add it to that.
Yeah.
I'll add that. No problem. So here's the cool thing. So now when I click on podcast, it's automatically matching me with different podcasts and conferences that you would be a great guest on. Does that make sense?
Yes,
So
it does.
let's say this Curious Minds at Work podcast. You can come over, you can listen to an episode to make sure that it makes sense for you to be a guest on it. And then you add it to a list. And we used to call it pitching, but now we call it connecting. You reach out to Gail to connect with Gail about you being a guest on their podcast, right? Let me zoom out a bit so it comes over here. But it's going to allow, what the heck did I do? All right, there it is. So it just wrote this simple email to Gail, taking in consideration what you do and how you help, right? And you can see it says, I'm Jacinta Murray. I'm a consultant out of Los Angeles. And there it is. So you can just send that email. Does that make sense? So just that quick,
Let's
you can reach
go.
out to that podcast. If you
Right.
look so far this week, we got some superstars on the call, right? Different people that are here, they have been reaching out. You can see Annie's reached out to 66. Jen has reached out to 51. Kathleen, who just retired last week, has reached out to 42. And basically, what's happening is you can reach out to podcast associations, media outlets, and things of that sort so that you can start getting booked again. Does that make sense? So this is
It
the new
does.
Speaker Hub, the old Speaker Hub. I bought Speaker Hub last June. I took over the company. We rebuilt everything from ground zero. So it is nothing like what you're used to. It's all brand new, and it's designed to get people booked more. So far, through June of this year, we booked over 5,200 meetings with event planners. So I don't know any other company that's even willing to talk about the number of bookings that they've done for the year yet, right? So we talk about all of our stuff publicly. We show it on the website. If you go to speakerhub.com, as soon as you get on the page, it's going to start popping up in the bottom corner showing you people that are pitching live. So give it a couple of seconds. You're going to see in the 21 event planners are online right now looking for speaking gigs, looking for speakers. Did you see that pop up in the middle? Right. And then over on the right, you're going to eventually see
Mhm.
a thing that says such and such. Dr. Ron just sent a pitch to Revolving Your Workspace 1 minute ago. We show our work live. Does that make sense?
It
So,
does. Thank
so
you.
there's Daisha just got booked on the Nonprofit Nerd podcast 2 minutes ago. Just happened, right? So we're the only place that shows all of our work publicly. So there's no question. It's connected directly to y'all account. As soon as y'all pitch it, say, Camille just pitched uh Family Feud or whatever she may be pitching. I don't know what she pitching, but that's what it is, right? So that's the new Speaker Up. We would love to have you on to try it out. You can sign up if you go to Speaker Hub and click join. It'll walk you through the new sign up so that you can get access to the new version. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you. Thank you
Oh
so
yeah,
much.
we're here to help you. Well, we told you we're the best. Claudine, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. So I'm here to ask a few questions, and it
Mhm.
would be great if you can help me through it.
Yep.
Maybe I can have another appointment
Okay.
needed.
Yep.
So it's about my the people that were working with me, and they are not showing up anymore. And so, but I made an account for each one of them. So I
Yep.
want to dissolve those accounts and add other people to the account. So one person can be pitching, the other person can be replying. So I feel like it's a whole process that I need clarity on. And so
Okay.
that's why I'm here. Thank
So
you.
so you got new employees. You changed out
Yes,
some employees for new ones.
yes,
Okay. All right. So I'll
yes.
show you how to do that really quickly. This is a really simple solution. One of
Okay.
the great things is that as the admin or the owner of the account,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody should pay attention to this because it's really important. As the owner, you can add people as team members, so
Mm-hmm.
forth and so on. You can see yours will always say owner. But
Mm-hmm.
if you have a team member, and I may have to do this over in a dev account, let me just show you over here. So when I come over here to Liliana's account, you can see me with my team members, but I'm logged in right now as Liliana. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So
Yes.
let me go back to the admin so I can actually show you. Um, do you has that person been pitching for you?
Yes, they pitched for a while. Then yeah, yes.
Okay. So you don't want to delete their account because you'll lose all of those pitches and the history. If you have a
Oh,
new employee, what you want them to do, what you want to
uh-huh.
do is to log in as that person.
Login. So now I need to request the login.
No, no, you don't have to do anything. As the owner, we let you log into any of your employees' accounts. You got to watch me. When you
Okay,
log in and you go to team, you click on manage, it
okay.
says logged in as a member.
As a member, okay.
So you don't need their permission at all. This is your account.
Okay, so okay, I'm here. I'm just like right here right now. So
Okay, so share your screen and
I'm
I'll walk you through it.
okay, good.
This is really important. As you guys get employees, you may want to trade somebody out, or your VA Salvatore hit me up the other day and said that he's going to be taking some vacation. He may be looking to make some employee changes, right? Which is cool, or getting some help on that side. Well, we need to show you all how you can go ahead and move people around within your organization. So go ahead, Claudine. So yeah,
Yeah,
so you're there. So you
yes.
see which go down to the one that says member.
Yes. Right now I just clicked on this before
Yeah, I know, but yeah, click on manage right there,
uh-huh.
and then log in as that member,
Okay, okay.
right? So now you're logged into that one. You just give this account to whoever you want to have it. So you click on account at the top, go up to oh no, above your team. You see it says your team in the middle.
Okay, team,
Yep, just go straight up right there, and you see account
team.
right next to it to the left,
Okay, okay. Uh-huh.
right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Click there,
We'll click here.
and then whoever you want to take over that account, you
Uh-huh.
have them connect their email here so that they
Oh,
can just pick up where the other person left off.
okay.
But if you delete this, click on mailbox
Okay, click on
on the
mailbox
bottom left corner.
on the bottom left corner.
Yep. If
Okay.
you delete that, then you lose the 100 pitches. You lose track of those 100
Oh,
pitches that they already sent. So
okay.
you want someone to pick up and reply and pick up where they left off. So you don't want to delete the account. You just want to assign it to somebody else.
I'm glad I didn't do anything until I came to this meeting.
Oh, 100%. We always got you.
Yeah.
It's no different than you got to treat it like a company laptop,
Yes.
right? When somebody leaves the job, I'm not throwing that laptop away. I'm going to change their username and give it to somebody else. But they're going
Okay.
to pick up where that other person left off with all the same files and all the same stuff because that's IP that belongs to the company.
Yes.
Does that
Yes.
make sense? So,
Yes.
they don't, when you turn in your laptop at the job, they'll let you keep it. Camille will tell you, they coming to get that laptop. That laptop, that phone, everything you got, that computer stand, the monitor, you gotta send all that back. That belongs to the
Yes.
company. So
Exactly.
does your speaker up account. It belongs to you. But you don't want to delete it. You want to reassign it so that someone can pick up that tray and carry it instead of throwing it in the trash. Does that make sense?
Yes, so for the I made one person admin. So, but this is not clicking right now.
Yeah, because you're not logged into your account. You're logged. If you look at the one, it'll have me next to it. You're logged into somebody else's account. You see it says me in black next to somebody's name on that page where you are with team. One of
Uh-huh.
those email addresses has ME in parentheses. It's the third
Oh,
one.
oh, third one. That's oh,
Yeah,
but
you can't log in as the admin because you're logged in as the admin.
okay.
You got to
So
go back to your owner account, the account that you
oh,
own.
to my owner account. Okay. So
Yep.
to my owner account.
So you got to log out and log back in. But I
Oh,
think you can
okay,
figure that part out. I don't want to take up.
okay,
We got
okay.
12 more minutes. I want to go over a little topic really quick because I
One
don't
more
want to turn
minute,
it.
one more question that I have. So so for these people, so when they pitch, um, which email will show into the other end? And also
Yep.
because I want one person to reply as me. So what
Mhm.
email can we use for that? And what email will show on the other end? So that's one
Yep.
of,
Sure that whatever email you want them sending from, when you're an admin, you click on email and you connect the one you want them sending from.
okay.
Right
So
next
they
to
can,
account is emails. You can connect whichever email you want them to use right then and there.
okay. Okay, okay.
Make
So
sense?
when they pitch, even though they will pitch from their email, on the other side, it will show as my email.
Yeah, even though they logged in with their email, they're
Email,
sending from your email.
sending from my email. And so when they reply, it's
Yep.
gonna come out as me.
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
that's cool. Cool.
Cool. All
Thank
good.
you. Mhm.
So, guys, what I want to talk about today is something that I think is a huge thing, right? So, we've made some major changes in the words and how we talk about things at Speaker Hub. The word pitch, that was my favorite word, according to Too Short. What's my favorite word? Pitch. He don't say that, but that was mine, right? We use pitch over here instead of the other word. Look, Camille know that song. Look at that. But that was my favorite word. But now that's not my favorite word anymore. We changed it to connect, right? And the reason that we did that is because it's brand appropriate, right? It makes sense. Well, last week I made a pretty sizable investment to change another word that was prominent within Speaker Hub. We used to call it speaker data, right? And speaker data talked about our 4 million pieces of data. But are those really just data or are they leads? Right? So now we actually own and control the rights to speaker leads. It was a decent investment that we made to buy that domain. We ain't gonna talk about how much we paid for it, but we got it. And now speakerleads.com is controlled by us. And it's gonna be incredible. And so now we will never refer to our podcast data or conference data. It is conference leads, podcast leads, uh, association leads, because we own speakerdata.com. We own speakerleads.com. We own speakerdata.com, speakers leads, speakerleads.co. I own all of them, right? When we tell you this is the mission to take over the world 1 month at a time, we are going to do that. We will constantly reinvest in making sure that we give you the best opportunity to understand what you're doing and pushing forward with the right mindset to show you that growth is inevitable. And we're going to demonstrate that to you. So we now control speakerleads.com. We haven't done anything with it yet. It's still redirected to a bunch of junk, but now it's ours. So when you will never hear us mention speaker data anymore. All of our branding now says leads on it. We kind of announced it a little bit under the covers. Like we didn't really talk about it a lot during the what was the thing we did this weekend
The summit.
during the summit, but it was in all the branding. I, I just didn't spend a lot of time on it, but it's definitely in the branding from this weekend where we went over that. And why is that important? Because if the way that you look at things and the words that you hear determine how you see the world. And some of us, I grew up my whole life, oh man, you short. You're a little short dude, and blah, blah, blah. I heard it all, right? So we walk around with the complex of being the little dude until you realize I'm the tallest person in my house. I may be short compared to AJ, but at my house, I ain't short. Right? So you can see speaker leads, we already have been using it, right? But this is something that we acquired right before the summit. Like literally before the summit on Friday, I wired the money and we took control of that. And I said, Maria, put that on the daggone thing. We're gonna go out with this. So now we own all of these. Speaker leads, speaker GPT, speaker QR, speaker page. We own our brand. Why is that important? It's important for you all to own your brands too, so that people can find you. If you have an obscure name or you have an obscure name for some crazy for your company, I would advise you to go and buy your own name. I own RonStoryJr.com. I own RonaldStoryJr.com. I own RonaldJStoryJr.com. I own RonStory.com. I own anything, any iteration of my name. Why? Because you know what? My brands change, but my name don't. So I may be coming out with something else new in a couple years, but those people who followed me will still follow me because I'm the brand. Does that make sense? So, how many of y'all done started 19 LLCs? We all have, right? And we changed the name, and it's now such and such LLC doing business as, was doing business as, starting to do business as, right? We keep changing them, but you never change. So I wanted to talk about that because I think personal branding, especially as a speaker, you can't be hard to find. Does that make sense? You can't be hard to find. Jasmin Dennis, very unique spelling. She should own both of them, with the E and without the E on the .coms. Why? Because somebody ain't gonna know that she don't have an E in hers.
Yes, that's true.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Right? Jadika, most people ain't gonna know to put the N in front of Jadika. So you gotta spell it like they spell it. Does this make sense? We got to work on our visibility and making it easier for people to buy from us. We could have kept it speaker data, but what does that mean to y'all? Nothing. It means something to us because we bought it. That was the only one that was available. And I didn't want to pay what he wanted to ask me for speaker leads. But over time, we negotiated and we got it done because speaker leads actually mean something. Makes it a lot easier for y'all to understand what the heck you're getting. Data, what they talking about? My analytics? What kind of data? What is data? Data plan on my 5G phone? Like data means so much stuff. But we know what leads means. And everything in your business starts with leads. If you don't have leads, you're not in business. You can have all the machines, you can have all the cool speeches, you can have all the software, but if you ain't got nobody to sell to, you're out of business. Does that make sense? So one of the big things you'll hear me talking about more and more is how do you generate a lead? Now, for speaking gigs, we give you the leads, right? We give you the podcast, the press, we give you the people to contact. But what about for your products and services? How are you generating leads for your products and services, right? Now, one way to do it is to go on podcasts, do speaking gigs, things of that sort. But everybody that you meet who's an ideal customer for your service, you're not going to meet them from a podcast or a speaking gig. Does that make sense? So how does that person try you out in a low risk way? One of the biggest questions that we've gotten about the new course platform is, can I sell my $3,000 course on there? I wouldn't encourage you to do that. Well, can you generate leads from there? Yeah, these are strangers. This is cold traffic. They need an easy way to try you out. So whether that's through a low dollar course, a free course, you need a lead. Does that make sense? If I'm looking at two leadership speakers, one has $1,000 a month training, and that's the only thing that's in their speaker hub store in that we're calling speaker library. It's the only thing in your speaker library. Hold on to that. We own that one too, right? So in your library of products, right? If the only thing I see are things that are $1, $2, $3, $4, $5,000, but over here I can try out Jasmine's leadership course for $19 to just get a feel about what she does. Now Jasmine has a lead. You don't even know I looked at your stuff. Do you see what I mean? But what can Jasmine do once I buy that $19 thing? Jasmine can reach out to me and say, hey, Ron, I wanted to make sure you made it through the course. You know, I saw you watch the first part. I would love to set up a time to walk you through some of my leadership, give you some of my leadership checklist or whatever. If I hop on that call, guess what Jasmine got? A sales call. She generated a lead, and the lead paid her. Yeah, when they sign up for your course, you get everything. They're your customers, right? When they sign up for your course or your training, they're your people. Let me show you. This is really important, guys, because I think a lot of times people simplify business to the point to where it becomes unrealistic. And it's like, nah, it ain't that simple, but it's not as simple as they're making it. Because they just say, well, all you got to do is, well, that don't ever work. You got to have this sales funnel thing. So let me show you. Over here, Valencia. Over here, you see it says, my courses, announcements, withdrawals, quiz attempts, assignments. Now, this is your stuff as a speaker instructor because you have your own products, right?
Right.
When I click on analytics, watch what happens. It brings over what? I can see my courses that I have, right? Let me click on that. Brings up all of my courses and what I've made from them. I can see what I've made overall and what I've been paid out from your Stripe and Speaker Hub, how much you've made, all of that stuff, right? If you have lifetime, you don't pay us any commissions. But if you don't have lifetime, we will take a small fee like everybody else. But here's the cool thing. There's students. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
right there on students, you can see all of the students that are registered for your course and when they registered. And there's a button that says export. And you can export your data because they're your customers. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh.
So you can export a detailed report of your students, your sales data, and all of those things, right?
Quick question, a little bit maybe advanced, but can this be hooked up to Zapier and we can send out like an email sequence to them?
It can be sent, it can be done that way, but
Okay.
let me show you an easier way. Again, I'm trying to eliminate all of what? Complexity.
Right.
Does that make sense? So
Yes.
there's a thing here called what?
Announcements.
What is an email?
An email is an announcement, I guess.
There you go. You see how easy that is? Come over here and create an announcement for your people. Does that make sense? Right?
So is it like a one-time thing or?
No,
Okay.
we'll walk you through it, but you got to
Okay,
make some
okay.
sales first. Because we
You're
be
right.
getting 8 steps down the road and
You're
we ain't
right.
sold no courses. And people get worried about the wrong stuff. Just get a sale first.
Okay. Thank
I'm
you.
serious. Right?
Yeah.
If you get it, let me give you an example. Right? How long does it take to take an email address and copy and paste it over into whatever email platform you're using?
I mean, not long.
Yeah. You think you can do 40 of those a day?
That would be great. Have
Yeah,
40
right?
sales a day, shucks.
And how much time would that take?
40
to-
moments. I mean,
Maybe maybe an
half
hour, right? Hour and a half, right? So get to that point first. Before we start trying to connect Zapier and all this back end stuff, go make 40 sales. You will be happy to copy and paste them damn emails.
Okay.
I'm just being real. Like we be doing all the tech stuff with no sales. I don't want you focusing on that. I want you focusing on selling stuff. Oh, go ahead, Denise. Yep. You got on mute? I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to upload a YouTube video on the speakers page and it's showing up as a slide. Does that have something to do with the way that I created the video?
No, that's going to be updated. Gustavo is still putting the finishing touches on a lot of the. We got the muscles and the bones of the system working. Now it has the skin on it. Now we got to put the makeup on it. Does that make sense? So that's being worked on right now and kind of ironed out. But no, it won't be as a slide unless there's multiple videos.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. But yeah, Gustavo is putting some of the lipstick on it as we go over the next 10 days before we go back live. But Denise, high five for getting the video uploaded. Denise she got a course locked and loaded. She ready to go. This is gonna be exciting. Claudine, you got another question or no? You got to unmute.
About the question I have is about what you just demonstrated. So again, maybe I missed it. So the lead, where are we getting the leads from?
Yeah. So basically, and you don't have access to it yet, but
Oh.
on July the 4th, you'll have access to the new speaker page. You know, your
Okay.
speaker page that you already have, you'll have
Yeah.
access to that speaker page
Mhm.
where you'll be able to offer products and services,
Yeah, to
right?
who?
To anybody you want. They'll be in Speaker Hub. You'll see a section in Speaker Hub called the Speaker Library. And in that library, it'll be our collection of courses and trainings from speakers like you guys.
So now, are we allowed to upload our, if we have a call list?
No. You can't.
Oh.
You can't upload your code list to
Mhm.
email people from there. This is for your customers that bought from you.
Uh-huh,
Right
the
now,
people
you can
who are-
email them from wherever you want and send them to that course to have them to buy the course from your store, but you won't be able to upload your own list and into the store to try to market to them. You
Oh, I
can,
see. I see.
yeah, we'll walk you through it all. I
Okay.
promise you.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions about the importance of generating a lead? And I try to explain it in the simplest form because we get complicated sometimes, and we need to make sure that you have to make someone a customer before you make them a client. Do you understand what that means? I got to make you a customer before I make you a client. Let me show you an example of this. Jacinta, have you ever had McDonald's?
Yeah, a while back.
You ever had a McDouble?
No.
Anybody ever had a McDouble from McDonald's? Kevin, you had a McDouble before?
Yes.
Denise, you had a McDouble? What was
Yes.
the difference? Why was the McDouble special?
Actually, it's not special. It's horrible.
More meat.
But it would be, yeah, supposedly more meat.
McDouble was a double cheeseburger that instead of having two pieces of cheese, it had one piece of cheese. And it was a lead loss. It was a loss leader. It was 99 cents. You get a 99-cent McDouble. And why did McDonald's want to give you a 99-cent McDouble? Now, this got meat and bread and all of that because they knew you was going to buy the soda. They knew you was going to add a fry to it. And they make all their money off the fries and the sodas,
Truth.
right? But they had to get you as a customer before you could be a client. Do you see what I mean? They needed to get you to buy the McDouble before they could make profit off of you. Right? So you got to get people in with $7, $13, $20 things to make them a customer and then upsell them into the next thing. We do this very well at Speaker Hub. We give you a free profile and we're going to invite you to upgrade all the time. Buy a lifetime account, try Speaker Hub Pro. But I gotta get you into my world. When I was a financial advisor, my whole thing was I need to get everybody to move $50 over. Why do you think I want everybody to just at least invest $50 a month in the mutual funds? Because whenever somebody asked them if they had a financial advisor, the answer was no longer no. You see what I mean? Kevin, you got a financial advisor? Right? You see that? He don't have one. So now I can pitch him on why I should be working with them. But if I say, hey, Kevin, why don't you just put $50 a month? You got a granddaughter, Kevin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, you should get a small little $20,000 term insurance policy for your granddaughters. It's going to cost you $15 a month. That'll be great. So if anything unfortunate happens, at least mom and dad aren't worried about it while they're worried about losing their kid. You can have comfort that all the expenses are taken care of. Now, by doing that, even though it's only $15 a month, tomorrow when Angela asks, hey, Kevin, I'm a financial advisor for Merrill Lynch. Are you working with someone? Guess what Kevin gonna say? I already
Yep.
got somebody.
Taken care of.
You see that? I just eliminated all the other stuff. So when you get, now I got a client that I can eventually get him to roll over his 401k, talk to him about his own life insurance, disability, what he's doing with all of his investments and all of that. But if I don't get him as a customer, I never have that excuse to follow up in 6 months. If I just look at your $1,000 thing and I never sign up for it, you can't ever follow up with me because you ain't got my email address. But if I bought your $8 thing, your $20 thing, I got a chance to upsell you to the $1,000 thing. Does that make sense? So that's called lead generation. Now, most people talk about lead generation, and we've already went through it before. There's different types of leads. But a customer with buying intent that has bought something is the strongest lead you can have. It's the strongest lead. Do you know that a customer who buys from you one time has a probability of buying 3 more times from you in the future at 5 times the amount that they spent the first time? They will buy from you 3 more times at 5 times the amount that they spent with you the first time. If you don't believe me, look at what y'all did. Look at the last thing you bought. A lot of us are brand loyalists. We bought a pair of Adidas. Now all we wear is Adidas, right? You come to my house, I don't wear Nikes. I got Adidas, everything. Golf shoes, running shoes, shorts, track pants, everything in my house is Adidas. Why? Because they gave me a good deal. And it was, I just kept buying it. I'm like, they got this, these are decent, you know? But they got me in with the outlet store. Prior to the outlet stores, I didn't buy Adidas. Make sense? So we got to make them a client, a customer before we make them a client. A client is someone who pays with you for life. A customer is someone who bought from you once. Let me say it again. A client is someone who works with you for life. A customer is someone who bought from you once. Got it? Jacinta, go ahead.
Thank you, Rob. So my question is, do you have like a coaching session for, probably I should ask my own question. Can you offer me like, do you have an arrangement where you can coach me to really anchor in what I can offer? Because I have so much going, and I'm a little bit all over the place about how I can put all my qualifications and streamline on certain topics that showcase, my experience, my education. So I'm struggling a little bit with that. Do you have a coaching session to go through what I have?
At the launch of the new system, we're including our coaching program called the Speaker Launch Formula. The Speaker Launch Formula is people were broken up into 6 different groups based on their level of entrepreneurship and speaking. Did she disappear? She went away.
No,
Oh
I'm
no.
here.
Okay. Oh, someone put your hand down, so you moved your camera. I was like, where'd she go? Okay. Yeah, it's based on your level of entrepreneurship and speaking, and yes, we do offer that. Now, I want to use so we got you. I promise you, we got you. It's called the Speaker Launch Formula. It is what everybody's been waiting on, but we didn't want to put our course on somebody else's platform and then tell y'all to put y'all courses on ours. That's called being a hypocrite. So we put our course on our platform, and it'll be available for you in 10 days on July the 4th. Is that cool, Jacinta? So you'll have access to that. We
All
can
right.
coach you through all of what you're trying to do based on what level of speaking you're on. It's group coaching, so it's good. But let me show you all something. Let me show you something. Here it is. What you just saw was us doing these free calls, right? So that people can try us out. Jacinta came on the call. Based on what she's heard here, she showed buying intent. Do you see that? If I didn't do these free calls, I don't have a coaching lead now in Jacinta. Did you see how she just went from bystander? And I'm just using it as an example, Jacinta, because everybody on here has purchased because of one of these calls. But you see how she went from bystander, saw value, and then asked for more. Imagine if we didn't do these calls, some of you guys on here wouldn't be our customers because a lot of you guys found out about us on this call. So that's why you got to have that lead gen product or course inside of your speaker page so that you can do this. I know Denise found me here, right? Valencia on this call. Bonnie was on another call that I was on, that I did a free webinar that I did, right? Do you see what I mean? You gotta be doing these types of lead gen things. But Jacinta, we got you. I promise you. We will take care of you. And I
Thank you.
also,
Thank you.
after this call, I'll send you a message, or if you want to stay on, I'll show you how you can get access to Speaker Up Pro also, right? But without that, without giving away something of value for free, it's hard for a person to trust and buy into what you're doing. Go ahead, Bonnie, and then whatever's in the chat. Could you walk me through that after Bonnie?
Yep. Hi. Okay, this is a logistical question. Is it a good time for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm sitting here connecting and listening. And in the waiting section, I'm sending new things. After I post one, I put it out there to an individual, then the system pops me back into the sent category. It doesn't send me back to waiting to send another one. And I haven't seen that before.
Yeah,
Maybe it's just a
so
little glitch.
yep. So that's something that we got a complaint about this morning. Salvatore sent that in this morning, and I am waiting on the dev team to explain what they're going to do about that.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
I mean, I literally got this email this morning. Watch this. Let me show you.
I'm glad it was
So,
him instead of me.
no. I mean, it's just part of it. I mean, this is why we make my emails and stuff available. Hey, I think I sent it and I moved the book, but it brings me back to this other thing. It's done it 3 times. He's saying the same
Yeah.
thing. So
Yeah.
it's already in the group chat, already getting worked on. But thank you for making it known.
Sure.
Yeah, Ange, if you can follow up, I'll follow up with them to make sure they're on that. But
They ain't
yes,
stopping me from connecting. It's just annoying and it wasn't there
oh
before.
yeah, no, we're fixing it. We changed the inbox a little bit to try to make it a bit more efficient. But
Okay.
some things they do without asking me. So any other questions? Any other ideas? We're 16 minutes into overtime. Hopefully this was helpful. I want to teach lead gen in a practical way for you guys. I don't want to teach it in this super duper technical, connect this, got to do this, got to do that. Nah, you got to get somebody to buy. You got to get somebody to give you their email address so that you can have a sales opportunity. If I were to ask here, right? Yesterday, first day of the week, how many people did you offer your products and services to? You ain't got to put it in the chat, but just answer it to yourself. And if it's under 0, some people negative. People got sold to more than what they offered to sell. You got to balance that out, right? But you got to make more offers to people. If that means asking people to have you on a podcast, asking them to buy your products and services, you got to do more of that. We gave you the leads for the speaking gigs, but on a daily basis, you probably come in contact with 5 to 10 people that could really use what you're doing. Now, you wanna find an easy way? Show you how to make mass offers. Give you a hack to make a mass offer every single day. You want to figure out how to do it? Watch this. You come over here and you open up this thing called LinkedIn. And what you do on LinkedIn, you come over here and here's what you post every single day. Let me show you. I'm going to show you an example on Instagram. When I came down daily, Instagram. And I got this from this. Now, you see this? This Instagram channel got how many followers, Kevin?
72.7 thousand.
Yep. And guess what he said? When I came down, you know what he posts every single day? The same damn video. Every day. You ain't gotta post nothing new. And he getting thousands of views on the same thing. Look at that. 6 million
Wow.
views on that one, 4 million, 2 million. And he just keep posting the same thing every single day. Now, why do I show this? Because if it's working, keep doing it. So on Instagram or LinkedIn or whatever thing you want to be on, post, I help entrepreneurs to grow, to get booked on for paid speaking gigs, podcast interviews, and press coverage. So they don't have to dance on TikTok. What do you do? Post that. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. People gonna come on there and they're gonna post, oh yeah, I do this. And guess what's gonna happen to that post, Kevin? It's gonna get shared to their feed.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
everybody gonna come on there, they're gonna take the bait of what do you do? They go, I do this. Ooh, go do it. And you just showing my stuff to your people. And we gonna roll with that. And I'm cool with that because it's gonna say, Kevin commented on Ron's post. Jasmin commented on Ron's post. Now I'm gonna get some free leads. And if I just keep doing it every day, I do this. What do y'all do? And every day they're gonna show it to different people, and more people gonna comment on it. And it's gonna be the same thing. You ain't gotta do nothing fancy, but you gotta generate leads. You gotta make offers. That's called a mass offer. I just offered that to all the people that follow me on LinkedIn. Does that make sense? Is everybody gonna want it? No. But I don't need everybody. Make sense? Any other questions before we hop off? Hopefully this was simple. Hopefully it was doable. We want to give you actionable things. Go ahead, Kevin.
I have problems logging on to PitchDB, Speaker Hub. I can't get on to nothing.
Okay.
I've been kicked to the curb.
No, I mean you probably don't remember your email address.
Ah,
But okay. Because I mean
it's my name. My email address
I'm
is
just
my
saying.
name.
I'm just saying.
I could have
Right?
forgot my name.
No, I'm just saying. So watch this. Go ahead. Watch this. Let me show you. Because everybody blame us. And we got the ultimate solution that it's never our fault when you can't log in no more. Share your screen, Kevin. Let me walk you through it.
Okay.
We done solved this login problem. We had login
Share
issues in a long
screen.
time.
Okay.
Watch this. Let me show you. I'm showing you some magic. Right?
Okay.
Okay. So go
Yeah,
ahead
I've been
and
trying to go pitch DB, log in, all
no,
kinds of.
just go to pitchdb.com. Pitchdb.com is always the place. Right?
Okay.
And then over in the corner it says log in.
Let me move this out of the way. Okay.
And then continue with LinkedIn.
Okay.
And then click sign in.
All right. Back to the other problem.
hey, we solve these login problems. We don't. That's why we don't control the passwords. We like, no, we just gonna give these passwords to Google and Microsoft. We're not gonna touch these passwords no more. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So the other one is the speaker page, speaker hub. Um, when I go to speaker hub, it just keeps giving me offers. I can, can't do anything else with it. So, and I haven't
Wait,
been worried about it, but you keep
what?
saying you're going to eliminate the word pitch and all that. So
Yeah.
it's
So
giving me a little bit of
go over the
anxiety.
podcast. Go over the podcast over on the left,
Podcast.
or any of those. Yeah. And scroll down. Add something to a list.
Add something to a list.
Yeah. Add anything to a
Okay.
list.
I'll add it to podcast list.
Look at that. That word pitch is gone.
Oh, okay.
You
So
see
don't
that?
worry about this up here where it says pitch DB
I
and
didn't say I was getting rid of pitch DB. We got rid of the word pitch as
okay.
an action
Got you.
because
Okay.
they had a negative connotation according to you guys. It was like I'm begging, I'm selling. Well, I know speakers don't like to sell, so but y'all don't mind socializing and connecting. So we're gonna
Okay.
adjust to be more brand appropriate. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was my favorite word? Pitch. But it ain't my favorite word no more. We changed it. All right. So you good, Kevin?
I'm good. Thank you.
All right. Perfect. Yep. Bonnie, let me see what Leroy said. Leroy, there it is. Usain Bolt with the customer service,
Yeah, my grandkids are leaving today, so I'll get back into pitching and everything.
That's it. Connecting. You get back into connecting.
Connecting. I'll get
There
back
we
to
go.
connecting.
Connecting with event planners. Bonnie, did you have something else?
Really quick,
Yep.
as I'm sending things out, I see that there is a space we can actually add a link into email. Would you advise, as I'm sending connections to senior living spaces, for me to post a link to a senior living podcast that I did that I thought came out particularly well? Would you send a link to
100%.
something like that?
Yeah, 100%. You don't send attachments, but links, yes. You can put
Okay.
one. I would advise putting one link in there. Say, hey, check me out on this podcast where I was talking about this. It's perfectly fine.
Great. Okay, that's all. Thank you so much for today.
Oh yeah, no, man. Again, I know these calls can go all over the place sometimes with customer support, but it's all designed to show you that we're going to be here to help you. The format of the calls are going to change, as I mentioned about a month ago. It's going to go to more like a podcast style thing where we'll interview different speakers like you guys to come on to talk about what you're doing. And then a lot of the customer support and coaching will go inside of your group, inside of Speaker Hub, in the new Speaker Hub. So we have these groups that we've set up for you guys inside of the new Speaker Hub. If I can get over there, where is it? When I came down, if you ain't ever seen it, that's funny. That was when people was doing that milk crate challenge, stupid stuff. During the pandemic, they would try to climb the top of the milk crates, and that dude fell all the way down. But so we have these different groups for you guys based on what level you're at. So If you're in the exploring plan that only has access to podcast, you will be here in level 2, right? If you're in emerging that has access to podcast and associations, you'll be in level 3. If you're on the experience plan that has podcast, associations, and conferences, you'll be here. If you're at a certain level of revenue, you will be here. And if you're one of our elite speakers, like that's doing high 6 figures a year from speaking only, you'll be here, right? Because there's different things that need to be taught at each level. Does that make sense? So we want to make sure that we're not talking down to anyone up here or talking over the heads of anybody that's just now building what they're building. Now, this is the ugly version. Gustavo has made one that looks way better than this, but this is where I get to play and break stuff. So y'all's will look a lot better than that. Gustavo made it look a lot better. Over the next 3 weeks, we have the replays going out. Every day we send out a new replay to our list for everyone who was on the Pro Speaker Summit. After those 30 days, all of those Pro Speaker Summit videos will be available inside of our speaker library. Speaker library is where you put your products and courses. Those speeches will be in there also as part of the Pro Speaker Summit. They won't be for sale. They will be there for free for people to learn more about Speaker Hub. Anything else any other questions about the basics of lead gen? You're not in business if you don't have leads. So don't try to put your most expensive stuff out front in Speaker Hub. You're going to miss out on people who may be interested in buying an entry level thing from you and then upgrading when you talk to them later. Any other questions before we call it quits for the day? If not, good to see everybody. I will see you all tomorrow and maybe Thursday. I may be traveling Thursday. Ange may be taking over on Thursday. But if not, I will see you all tomorrow. All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.